the Positive Grid Spark 40. Now in this video I'm going to show you a couple more recordings on how versatile this little amp is, and I'm going to kind of explain to you a couple of reasons why I chose to buy this little dude and add this into my guitar gear repertoire. Say that 5 times fast. I can't even say it 1 time fast. But that first recording was my Dean ML, and all you're hearing there is the stock metal preset that this thing shipped with. And I might have tweaked the reverb a little bit or something, but you have the guitar, the amp, the Shure SM58, and it's going right into my computer, and I just clicked export audio after it's done. I didn't even tweak the volume or nothing on the computer when I actually recorded. There's no post mixing, nothing. There's no pedal board in between my guitar and this amp. What you're hearing is this amp. And I have a couple more recordings that I'm going to show you. The second one is a Tele, my Fender American Professional 2, with a more shoegaze kind of sound going on, some heavy delays and reverbs. And then the last one is a bluesy kind of deal on my PRS SE DGT. I just wanted to show you how versatile this thing is and why a guy like me, I'm basically a tone snob. I like my vintage tube amps and stuff, my Vox, my old school Marshalls and stuff, but this amp has some extreme value. It can do a lot of stuff. Now this video, I'm not going to jump into no extreme deep dives on what this amp can do and stuff and all the things that it has to offer. I'm just going to barely scratch the surface on it. But this specific model is actually the first Positive Grid that came out. You now can choose between this one, the Spark Go, the Spark Mini. They just now came out with a cab. So they basically have a size for anyone who's looking for one of these. But I just wanted to make a video showing you kind of why I chose to get it and why I like using it and how exactly I use it. But let's check out that second one. This is the Tele on the kind of shoegaze deal, or P-dub, whatever you want to call it. Alright, as you can see, it's got some very fleshed out delay and reverb, a lot of good effects built into this thing. And part of the reason why I really like this amp is I have it up in my living room, kind of under a little end table, which by the way is not the best idea for getting the best acoustics, but it's out of sight, out of mind. And my idea when I bought this thing was to put it up in the living room and keep like a couch guitar hooked to it, so I would be more willing to grab the guitar and practice with this thing instead of coming all the way down to my little jam room here, hooking up my pedal board, hooking the stuff up, firing up the tube amp, getting the guitar out of the case. I was hoping this thing would kind of be an all-in-one tool, and it definitely is. It really just provides you with all the tools that you need. And I opted for this size because at the time of buying it a few weeks ago, it was on sale as well as the other Spark stuff, but it was only like 20 or 25 bucks difference between this and the Mini, which, by the way, the Mini is a 10 watt and it has two 2-inch speakers. This 40 is a 40 watt and it has two stereo 4-inch speakers. So this thing is really, it gets pretty loud in the room. So it basically can hang with an acoustic drum set depending on what style of music you're playing with it. You know, if you're in a black metal band and your other guitarist is jamming a full stack, maybe not. But you can totally mic this thing up and it has a very full sound, which is kind of why I went with this model, because I wanted it to be more of a full kind of sound, a little bit more, you know, beefy, have a little more low ends, and have those knobs to use, you know, the actual physical, the buttons on the top. But if you were looking for one to go with you to travel or something, maybe the Spark Go could be for you. But this one, I was planning on it just kind of staying in my living room and being my little all-in-one practice deal, so I wouldn't have to fully, you know, hook up a pedal board and worry about all that stuff. But you can buy the foot switch for this thing too. But you know, you could gig with this thing if you really wanted to. But it's a solid state amp. I just think it has a lot of extremely valuable tools built right in here. You can practice with this thing, and it has this thing where you can generate backing tracks. You can lay down a rhythm guitar part and it will generate, like auto generate, a drum and bass line and kind of make music with you. You can use this thing as a DAW and put it right into your computer. They say it has over 10,000 different presets and stuff. So I mean, you can do anything from old school blues to rock and roll, country, shoegaze like we just heard. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff with this amp, to metal, everything. And while I am, like I said, a tone snob, basically, it does a great job at all of the sounds that you can, you know, possibly pump out of it. But I think it's a great all-in-one practice tool for anyone. I think that you should seriously check this thing out. I had some extra musician's friend bucks, like some reward cash, and I didn't even have to pay much for this little thing, but it is extreme value. It weighs about 11.5 pounds, and it just punches way above its weight class as far as I'm concerned. It does a lot. But let's check out this last one. It's some bluesy stuff on my PRS SE-DGT. It's on the middle position on the pickup selector, which is both humbucker mode, and it's just some kind of bluesy stuff I'm jamming. Alright guys, as you can tell, this thing, just with those 3 recordings I showed you, it's extremely versatile. These are like the factory presets that this thing came shipped with. I've barely scratched the surface with this amp, really. But it really has a very good presence in the room mic'd up. But you can do so much more with this thing than I probably will ever actually do with it. But check the Spark stuff out and seriously consider getting you one of the many different ones that they offer, you know, depending on what size you're looking for. But this specific amp, I just wanted to make a video to show you how cool this thing is and how really feature rich it is. But if you enjoyed this video and you like videos like this, if you have not seen Ike's Jam Room yet, this is your first one, welcome aboard. But consider subscribing if you want to see more stuff like this. We'll see you next time.